Let's take a quick look at how you can use styles and themes to quickly change the look and feel of your lesson. If your lesson was created using one of the lesson templates, then you'll notice that as you select an object, most objects will have a predefined style. For example, this header text has a style called light heading 1, and this text here has a style called light heading 2. My button has a style called style 1, and my shape object has a style called background dark. And each of these objects often have more than one style you can choose. For example, my shapes have background dark, background feedback, and background light as different styles that I can choose. And then these styles are reused on the various objects throughout your lesson, and that gives it the consistent look and feel that you see. So if we preview the lesson, we'll notice that there's kind of the same fonts, the same sizes of text, and the same colors being reused on each page. So what if you wanted to change the look and feel of your lesson quickly? How can you do that? Well, the good news is it's possible to do using styles and themes. And you're going to want to start by going to the page near the end of your lesson template called Stylesheet. And this has all the different, not all, but most of the objects that are used commonly throughout the lesson template. So let's say, for example, I wanted to change my heading 1 text. I could select that object here on the style sheet. And let's say instead of using Roboto, I want to use a font called Roboto Slab. Then to apply that style throughout my lesson, I can simply use this feature here under the Manage Styles dropdown called Update Current Style from Object. And you'll notice once I do that, that all the text that's been tagged as being heading 1 is now using Roboto Slab. So here it's Roboto Slab. If I go to the previous page here called Summary, I can see that my heading 1 text is also using Roboto Slab. My, let's see, the results page here, it's also using Roboto Slab. So that's just one object. Let's continue that process for any other objects on the style sheet that I want to adjust. So for example, let's change some of the colors. Let's say that for our background dark shape, we instead of using this this fill of a dark blue, we want to use a dark gray. So I'll go to my fill color and I'll choose a dark gray. And then as before, I'll go ahead and choose to update the current style from the object. So it's going to update the style called background dark to use a dark gray. So we'll do that. We can already notice that this shape is now using a dark gray. And then we'll do the same thing with our background light. Let's say we want to use, say, a lime green color. Okay, so now that looks the way we want it to look, but we have to remember to use the Update Current Style from Object feature to push that change out to the rest of our lesson. And then I'll go ahead and update a few other objects here on the page. Once we've updated the objects on our style sheet and applied the changes throughout our lesson, we need to go back and preview our lesson and make sure that all the objects are looking the way that we want them to. So for example, let's go to, let's say this page here. This looks good. We'll go ahead and preview it. This page looks good. This looks good. And as you preview, you'll notice that certain objects need to be manually adjusted. So for example, here the slider is still using the light blue color scheme from the previous theme, and we don't want that. So what we can do is select the slider object and then go ahead and in the track fill property, switch that to use the lime green that's being used in other places in this theme. That looks much better. Another place that would really help to finalize the look and feel would be to adjust the master page. We can see here that the master page is using a dark blue color and a light blue for the progress bar, and we don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and go to the Master tab. And here on the master page, we can see that this shape here called bar is using that sort of medium blue color. And let's go ahead and switch the fill to use a dark gray so that it looks more consistent with our new look and feel. And then for the progress bar, instead of using this light blue for the foreground fill property, we'll use that same lime green color. And now if we preview again, things are starting to look a lot better. And lastly, what if we've taken the time to create a new set of colors and styles, and we want to reuse this in a different lesson? Well, to save yourself time from having to recreate this from scratch, what we can do is we can export the theme and then import it into a new lesson. To do that, go ahead and click on the Edit menu, choose Lesson Settings, and under the Authoring tab, choose Manage Themes. And then here you can export the theme. And then here in your new lesson, if you wanted to use that theme that we just created, you can easily go to the Edit menu, Lesson Settings, and now import the theme that you previously exported. And that's going to apply that look and feel to your new lesson.